Welcome back to Fab Fun. My name is Logan, and today we're on part 2 of the Goater Home. So today we're going to be looking at how are we going to do the wheels. Do I want to do wheels? Could I put it on skids? I don't know. Thinking about making this little wheel attachment here. Doesn't look exactly straight. Harbor Freight wheels. Might get better once I had some tension on it. I'm sure those bearings aren't great, but this is not for highway use. Just to move from one pin to another. Already got the tongue mounted here. And I'm wondering if I really want to do that, or if I should just lose the wheel and just put runners around this front edge, drag it behind the four-wheeler whenever I need to. Probably would be a little bit more stable when the goats are staying in it to not have wheels on it. And the closer I can have it to the ground, less chance of it blowing over in a storm. I don't know. So I was contemplating whether or not to go with skids for a little bit more stability when it's sitting still, or wheels to be able to transport it a little bit easier. And so I'm going to do both. So I'm going to go ahead and put the studs on to be able to mount the wheels whenever I want to move it, but also have it on these runners so it's up off the ground, which is really the point of having this expanded metal, so that the urine from the goats, whenever they're staying inside, just passes through the straw and bedding and whatever else and goes out. I think we're going to do straw. I think pine shavings would just go through the expanded metal, so straw is going to be the way to go. We'll probably have to change it every once in a while, but hopefully this will be a pretty easy way for us to keep it clean a little bit longer and not stay wet, and also give them a little bit more of a stable house. So I think that's the way we're going to go, and so we need to screw some of this stuff down. What do you think, Macie? Don't know? Okay. Let's pre-drill. I think that's where I want everything. Pretty good so far. What do you think? I need a bigger barn. I am angling this drill pilot hole a little bit because I don't want to hit the other screw heads underneath. I don't want to be right on the edge of the 2x4 underneath, so definitely wanted to angle it a little bit away from the edge. There we go. How's that look? Good? Bad? Thumbs up? No? Yes? Okay, now the point of that is, if I can get around, I can leave this on just like this. The metal's not touching the ground, the tongue's not touching the ground, so it's not going to stay wet. You've got these runners that are on the ground. Whenever I want to move it, I can slide a washer on and then this wheel and a nut, and the tires will be the only thing touching. The tongue will be hooked up to the four-wheeler, and I can move it hopefully a lot easier from one area to another. But I don't have to leave the wheels outside. They are supposedly flat-free. Don't know how those would hold up outside with UV damage long-term anyway. Obviously they're not supposed to go flat, but I don't know how fast they're going to dry rot. They don't feel, well, obviously they wouldn't feel like other tires, but I don't know, give them a shot. Macie, can you flip this over for me? No? Okay. Well, we've got to flip it over. The plan is to leave it on a little bit of a hillside wherever I park it. I don't want to have it perfectly flat because it is going to have a flat roof. As long as there is a little bit of a slope, I shouldn't have to worry about creating a slope on the roof as I'm making it. I wanted to go really simple on this. Still haven't come up with a plan for a door, and that's probably what I need to do next. So let's flip it over and start thinking about a door. So we've got it flipped over. We'll take a look at it. It's got some hex head, self-drilling screws. I wanted to go with that hex head because if I went with anything else and I wanted to replace this expanded metal at some point, maybe it doesn't work out very well and I go with plywood or deck boards or something else in the future. I figured if I went with Phillips or even a Torx, it might be filled up with poo and rusted away, so I figured the hex head would be a little bit easier to get to and might last a little bit longer. So that's my reasoning behind that. Got to put the metal on it, but first, got to come up with a plan for the door. So stay tuned, and I'll do a lot of thinking off camera, and hopefully we'll come up with something very quick. Maybe it'll work. Uh-oh. That's good enough. All right, now we need a diagonal piece in here. And let's say, yeah, let's say the hinge side is over here. Then my diagonal piece would be like this, underneath. Let's get that inside. Yeah, let's do that. So, should be able to mark this on this angle. See if I can cut it fairly accurately. And we'll see. It's actually pretty close. Not bad. If I can mark this, let's spin it around. Probably won't end up being perfect, but we're not aiming for perfection. We're aiming for functional. All right, let's cut this just a hair long the first time. I did cut it just a little bit long. I want a tight fit, and I can't add any if it ends up being just a little short. Actually, that looks like it's going to be just right. I like it. Now, trying to get a screw in on this side should be pretty easy. This side might be a little bit harder. Let's get a little bit started at an easier angle, and then keeps your drill bit from sliding. Two more screws. You know, I think someday everybody's going to be building mobile goat houses. Everybody will have their own little goater home. It's just so much fun to build, especially when you have a helper. Okay. Would like to secure this a little bit better, but the important thing is that if the hinge is over here, so the weight is going to be, gravity's pulling it down over here. As it does that, it's actually pushing the weight into this against the hinge. So hopefully the door won't sag. I've got to get a latch or hasp, something on this side. I've already got two hinges. And I think by adding the sheet metal on this, it'll actually hold this in place a little bit better. Unless I can think of a better way to screw this on to get a good angle with the screws that I've got. I don't know, I'll think about it. So put a bar clamp on here to support the weight. I can kind of balance it out with it being in the center. It's about the gap that I want on the top. I want a little bit bigger gap on the bottom because I don't know if that expanded metal might bow up a little bit on the very edge. So I'm giving it some wiggle room there. But by doing this, I can position the hinges where I want without having to have somebody help hold it, and Macie can continue being the camera person. At least I think I can do this. And that looks pretty even. Let's do one on the bottom. I'm gonna have your gap pretty close to the same. Not that this is all perfect, but all right. Hands me screws too. Not the direction I wanted that to go. Pretty sure I'm hitting a screw in that hole, but maybe we can get it to go the other way a little bit. That's not too bad. Now comes the big test. Will the hinges bind a little bit? We'll find out. Looks like it works. Well, we're a lot closer to being able to house some goats, so that's good. You excited, Macie? All right. I think this will be the end of part 2. Part 3, hopefully we'll get some sheet metal on here and we'll have a hasp or latch mechanism here. And it looks like it's going to be sturdy enough, up and down, back and forth. Probably won't have enough flex that we have to put 2 latches on. I don't think anything could open it up to get to them if they're locked up at night. I think we should be good. So if you like our content, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notifications whenever we make new content. Have a good night, everybody.